Hello, everybody out there in Elkton and beyond. This is Judge Mentalist, also the coordinator for Elkton Magic. I am here with the man, the myth, and quickly becoming the legend here in Elkton,
None
Matt
of those
Donnelly,
things
the
are
Mind
true.
Noodler.
Untrue. I object. Falsehoods.
Look, that's my role here to object. So,
Oh yeah, fair
you
enough.
know, honestly, to kind of roll back to when we started this whole Elkton Magic thing. Well, the first time we started with an actual live show, because anybody that kind of knows the background of Elkton Magic knows that we didn't get started before we got started because that little pandemic thing happened and shut everything down. But when we finally got things going, you were
hmm
here in the smaller theater for two shows in November of 2021, sold both of those out, and now in the relaunch at the new location, because the old building sold, with 168 seats, there are very few, but a non-zero number of tickets left
All
for
right.
your.
Let's get them sold. I need my sold out record to hold up.
That's right.
I'm, you're a man of statistics. I'm now a man of statistics. If you're keeping stats, I'm keeping stats. Let's do it.
So yeah, I mean, when we first set this thing up, we talked about doing this promo thing to kind of push ticket sales and everything like that, and then all of a sudden, like grease lightning, poof, gone. There are. Let's just put it this way: if you are a group of four or less, and
Yeah,
you are looking to come to Matt Donnelly's show on Thursday, February 16th,
that's
there
right.
are, there are plenty of tickets for you.
Okay.
If somebody gets more those first, or you need more than four, you'll have to wait for the next time that we bring him back
Look,
because
look, look. Stats aside, can I just tell you how excited I am to come back to Maryland and perform again? I had a blast last time, both shows. It is definitely not your typical magic crowd that you get or whatever. It was really cool to see a bunch of locals of every variety coming out to be like, what is this magic show really about? And seeing adults come out and maybe see like their first magic show in decades or something, or first magic show ever. That's the coolest, most exciting crowd to have as a comedy magician. I love it so much, and I had a blast last time, and I'm psyched to come back.
yeah, and we're obviously excited to have you back here. For those, let's get into some of the history that I know, and a lot of people that might know who you are know. But
Right.
for those people who maybe have never gone to a show, to any sort of magic show, how did you get to where you are right now?
Well, I was born on a planet that was being destroyed, and my parents put me in an egg, and they shot me off to planet Earth. And that's where I
Okay.
discovered that through the power of Earth's sun, I have supernatural powers where other humans don't. Um, and that's why I'm Superman. No, I didn't get into magic until late in life. I don't have a typical magic story. I didn't start doing cards as a kid. You know, a lot of magicians kind of go like, "I've never had a real job. I performed magic my whole life." I've had plenty of jobs, plenty of failures, plenty of other things in life that stumbled me into the world of magic at the ripe old age of 39 years old. And then I've been doing it. I'm 44, so I've been doing it now for 5 years. However, I have a distinct advantage of nepotism and connections. Every Las Vegas headliner is kind to me. And so I've gotten to work with the best. It's unfair. You can't buy this in a master class. You can't get this in a book. You can't get this on a retreat with a magic organization. It's stupid. It's stupid how much access I've had to the greatest minds in magic. And then it's even more stupid what I've done with it. I've created a very silly and outrageous magic show. You will not leave thinking I'm some kind of demon or alien. Just that it was funny. I hope your jaw will drop, but your belly will hurt more from laughing.
That it's funny because that you don't always think about that, and as me kind of being the brand ambassador, if you will, for magic here in Elkton, needing to kind of explain to people in general what they're going to see, because a lot of people, their mind goes to Joe Bluth in Arrested Development,
Oh sure,
with the ribbons and
yes.
the zigzag boxes and the stuff like that. I will tell you right now, we did probably what six different performers that were in here in the first run, and not a single one of them brought in what is referred to as a big box illusion, like these big stage illusions or anything
Oh
like
right,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It has all been really just down to earth, very, involved with the audience. And I'll tell you that there, the promoter for and the guy who runs the showcase, the last place that we were, the smaller theater.
Yeah.
I don't remember whether it was after the first night or the second night. He turns to me and he goes, "You know, we've done a bunch of comedy shows here, and he's the funniest of all of them. And you weren't even billed as a comedian coming in."
Right. I mean, so like very early on, when I was I needed to get into magic. I was dabbling in it, but I needed to go ahead and go full force with it. I did a Kickstarter where seven magicians taught me seven tricks, and I performed those seven tricks. And I did this in Las Vegas. And when I did Piff the Magic Dragon, who was one of the people who taught me a trick, Piff the Magic Dragon had this big run on AGT, sarcastic little British guy. He's worth a YouTube if you don't know who he is. But he's very popular. He really blew up on AGT, and he was touring all the time. He saw the show and took me on the road, and what he was touring was comedy clubs. So I went from 0 to 60, and all of my stuff was doing 20-minute sets to open for Piff at comedy clubs. And so my act was sharpened there. So like in a comedy club environment or in a place where people were kind of a little like arms crossed, like, what am I really going to watch? You're going to really try to make me believe in magic, you weirdo. Like that kind of crowd is where I started. So like it's my kind of favorite kind of crowd. Like I know how to handle that situation. And so because no matter what you do in a comedy club, I mean, you could do the greatest miracle on earth in a comedy club. It's that environment no one will leave being like, like you don't hear a lot of gasps in a comedy club for magic. It's just not in people's range of what they want to give you. So you have to make them laugh. You have to do stuff that's ridiculous, so that the magic does become this cool thing. But they're really just talking about how funny you are afterward. And so that's kind of where I started and where I kind of keep my lane as a magic performer.
It's interesting because I've seen your show a couple times, obviously when you were here in Elkton and then a few other spots. And it's, what you've put together, it's easy to forget in the whole thing that you're there at a magic show. I don't want to say that the magic takes a back seat in your performance, but it's not like boom, 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 let's do a bunch of magic. You're there to entertain people.
Right. Like I don't like stand-ups don't use music. A lot of magicians do use music. I currently don't use music in my show. I might add it if I'm going to play like larger theaters or whatever, for its own sense of production value. But I always think comedians don't work with a soundtrack, and so I like to work in that same space. And also, um, I want things to go off the rails a little bit. Like I come from an improv comedy background, so like I don't some magic acts just want to stay on rails. They just want to just go and just march their way through. And even when you buy magic books and lectures and all that stuff that you and I both do spend too much money on, a lot of it's on like audience handling, and in a way that's like to keep them just totally curtailed. And I kind of fight back against that for my own guilty pleasure. Like I want to see how I do on the spot. I'll tell you a fun story. Even
It's also those are the things that make that night absolutely memorable, and those
yes,
people know. And this can be a call out to anybody who's trying to buy those last four tickets who saw you last time, wondering, being on the fence. It's a different experience every time.
yeah. You'll see some of the same tricks. You'll see some new ones, but you're going to see a totally different feeling show, 100%. Because yeah, it'll be different stuff. I want, I try to get like real information from people. I don't make the conversation one-sided. I really kind of want it to come through. Um, I was going to tell you a story of when I was running for student council president of my high school. I purposefully dressed up like very nice, and then I wore the dirtiest basketball sneakers I had, like an old pair that I kept for maybe if I had to go like rafting or something, like an old ratty pair. And so I purposely, as I spoke my speech, I walked out from behind the podium and like walked up the aisle to like really bring my speech home before the audience, hoping that someone would heckle me for my sneakers. And then they did, and I was just simply like pointed them out, did a super confident like joke right back to them, got this huge laugh, and then went right back into my speech, and it made me look invincible, you know.
Fantastic.
And so like I love variables because that's where I can distinguish myself from a different, more buttoned up and polished performer. I mean, I get a lot of good reviews and superlatives and everything else, but polished is not one of them. I don't get called polished when you see my show.
But I don't know that that's on your that's nowhere near
No,
your target. So
look, when I grew up loving Penn and Teller and Amazing Jonathan, and to me there wasn't even an interest in Copperfield specials. It was not in my. I didn't understand there's a world of magic outside of that either. I just loved those guys. So like if Comic Strip Live was on and it had Amazing Jonathan, I was watching. If the Tonight Show was on, they had Penn and Teller as a guest, I was watching. You know, Comic Strip Live, I was just waiting for Penn and Teller to pop up. But what they were doing was hilarious and ridiculous, and I didn't think they were actually trying to do magic. You know, I just thought they were just doing ridiculous stunts, and so uh, that's the flavor, that's the fun. You know, I want someone who's like, "What? You're gonna take me to a magic show?" Like that person, I want right there in the first few rows. And I'm telling you, like, just getting into my show, you'll know I disarm that edge fast. We're not here for that, you know. So yeah, I think I'm not going for. No one wants. I'm a big guy. I'm a big gregarious guy. So putting me in a tux, you know, you don't want to see me do doves. You don't want to see me manipulate cards in different colors. That's not what you want from me, you know. So I'm leaning in to my typecast. I wear overalls. I am a working class magic man. I'm out there just to have fun.
and I think that everybody that I mean, I have not heard anything negative about people who have attended your shows. Well, other than my sister-in-law who thinks that you still owe her a drink. Um,
I'm good for that. I'll pay. I will get her that drink. I will redeem that debt.
I don't know that she's going to be at this show, but if she
Mm,
is, I'm sure that she will come to you looking for that.
yes.
Um, yeah, I mean, you just to kind of let people know a little bit more of what to expect without giving anything away between you and then obviously me opening for you. There is not really much. I don't know exactly what you have in your show right now, but correct me if I'm wrong. There's not going to be very much look what I can do magic happening on that stage that night.
No. I
It's
want
all
silly.
interactive. It's all working with people. It's all, and nobody's going to get, embarrassed or well, again, I'm going out on a limb to not know exactly what
No,
your show
no.
is still,
I
but
mean that's where you get in the comedy element. That's what people are afraid of when they go see comedy, right? Is picking on the audience. And no, I am the victim. I am the butt of the jokes. I take no pleasure in zinging people or winning or owning something on an audience. I don't like that in any form of comedy or whatever. And the bottom line is, I need the audience. You know, like all the tricks involve having an audience member be the person just selecting things at random or doing things so that I am not controlling things, so that it can be as random as possible, right? So I need them. If you are called on stage to join me, it is for you to be a hero. So please don't think I'm going to mess with you in any way. I will take the full brunt.
fantastic. So let's do something a little bit different because the aim of this was supposed to be to promote the show here in Elkton that now has 4 tickets left.
Okay.
And I know that your schedule is jammed up that weekend, so it's not like we could roll out a second show. It just really would not make sense with this time frame. I'm confident that we'll have you back in the future because why not? I mean,
Right.
and to peel back for anybody who does not know, this show is not only an entertainment show, but it is also a fundraiser for my daughter's high school. So um, she came to me and said, "Hey, can we do something as a fundraiser?" And I was like, "Well, the easiest thing to do would be book and put on a magic show because we've done it before." And she's been involved and helped kind of set stuff up in the past and everything like that. And she's like, "Who would we get?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe the guy that sold out both of the shows that he was here the last time." She's like, "Can we do that?" I'm like, "We can ask." And here we are.
Yeah.
So, again, with this track record, having you back in the future, whether it be for a fundraiser show or just for a general show, definitely in the cards. But anybody who wants, let's say anybody who might not be in Elkton that's watching this,
Yeah.
anybody who might not have a chance, whether it be because of the dates or because the tickets are almost gone to come here in Elkton, how do they find out more about you? How do they see where your other shows are? What do you got on tap?
Yeah, I mean, you can follow me at Mind Noodler at it's noodle with an R at the end. Mind Noodler on Instagram, and then of course mindnoodler.com, my website where I keep a schedule up there. Um, I'm doing this show on Thursday, then I'm rolling out and doing two shows in Red Bank, New Jersey. The 2 nights later, February 18th, you can see me there. The 7 o'clock show is sold out, but there's a 9:30 show, so if you want to come see me there, great. Um, and then I'm about to roll out on the Foolers Live tour, which is Penn and Teller producing a tour of larger theaters. I'm one of 4 magicians heading out on the road. I'll actually be covering, this is crazy, but I'm actually going to be playing Penn's part in 2 different Penn and Teller tricks as they were giving those tricks to the show. And that has got me, just sweat came on my brow just thinking about that right now. But I'll be doing some of my own material and Penn and Teller tricks with Vinnie Grasso, Jessica Jane Peterson, um, and oh no, I'm blanking on the third name. He's right on the tip of my tongue.
Alex Ramon.
Alex Ramon. I was like Adam, not Adam. Adam, not Adam. That's all my brain was doing the whole time. Adam, not Adam. Adam, not Adam. Adam, not Adam. Alex Ramon, who's a very accomplished magician. We're very lucky to have him. And so we're going to be in Milwaukee. We're going to be in Akron, Ohio. We're going to be in Indianapolis. Those are the first 3 dates that are up on sale right now. And those are all in February. So check that out. Those are on my website as well. But more importantly, you have other shows coming up, right? You have other magicians coming to town?
Yeah, we have not announced them yet, but will be within the next few days. You know what? I'll just throw it out there right now. The Elkton Magic accounts have kind of hinted at who we have coming, but
Yeah, that was a neat tease to put a
yeah,
picture.
so you know at least what one of those things means, maybe two.
Yes. Yeah.
So in March, and this is a call to action to anybody who might not have either the time or the date doesn't work out to get to this show, or maybe you're seeing this after all these tickets are sold out. All of the performers that we bring in here have either, they've got credentials. We're not just, going to some bottom of the barrel, who can I get for $100 and throw them on stage. Those they exist, but we've got in March 2 performers that are part of running Poe's Magic Theater in Baltimore. We've got Vince Wilson and Adam Stone, and
Nice.
they are coming here to. I know that they've. At least Adam has done Fool Us. I don't know if Vince has. I'm not sure. I know that Vince was on the cover of one of the major Magic magazines a month or 2 ago. So that's going to be fun.
Those still have centerfolds, those Magic magazines?
I don't know. We can check. They yeah. So they're coming in March. That'll be March 24th. April. Ooh, put me on the spot here. I believe it's April 21st.
Yeah.
We have this is super cool and super unique, and I love bringing different and unique stuff in here. We have Meadow Perry with a bubble magician coming in, and
it's fantastic. Her act is fantastic.
Her act is fantastic. She is a very skilled magician in her own right, but she also uses bubbles and I'm not going to spoil too much of this because I think this is probably a lot of this in her promotional stuff, but you will likely have the opportunity to come up on stage and have a huge bubble put around you in the middle of her show.
Anyone? Everyone? One person?
I don't know if she does it for everybody, but definitely some people. I've seen her bring multiple people up and do this, where she encapsulates people in a huge bubble. Like, she's got some apparatus that helps her do it, which is fantastic.
Because I know politically I've been in mine since 2019.
Understandable, very understandable. I don't think you're alone. Different bubbles. Yeah. And then somebody that may not be recognized prominently as a magician because his current occupation has him working a Cirque du Soleil show in May.
Golden handcuffs.
What's that?
Golden
The
handcuffs, they
golden
call
handcuffs, yes. We've got friend of yours, RJ Owens, who will be here in May. For those who don't know, and tell us from your perspective a little bit about RJ.
R.J. Owens is a very successful magician, and then he was literally recruited while performing magic to join Cirque du Soleil, but because of his typecast, he is a 6'6" guy, big, gregarious, and so he plays a giant baby in Mystère as this hilarious clown in Cirque du Soleil's Mystère, and he is a very accomplished magician. And so now what happens is Cirque du Soleil gives 3 off periods a year. And so what he does is he fills up that time with magic gigs. So the fact that you have him during one of his breaks is actually a really good get, because
Yeah.
he really has very limited time where he can do magic shows. So the people of Elkton are very lucky to come out and see a very hilarious guy. And people who enjoy my show for the comedy and magic elements will love RJ's show. That's a fact.
I mean, he had a lot to do with helping you set up the
Yeah,
show.
he's my director. I guess I can just shamelessly let him know that if you like my show at all, it's because of him already. So you might as well go see his show because he is my director.
Good. We'll make sure that we mention that in February, because
Yeah,
tickets will be available by then. They'll be available before then, but
yeah,
everybody will have all the information that they need on that. Well, great. I know that you are in Utah working gigs right now, so I'm not going to
yeah.
keep it too long. I want to, and any last words for the folks in Elkton or surrounding areas before we let you
Uh,
go?
Only that I'm thrilled to come back. Like, I had a blast. I'm originally from the East Coast. When I get to do shows on the East Coast, I feel like they just go better. It's a sensibility thing. But already my first show in Elkton was one of my favorites I've ever done. So I am just thrilled that this worked out, and I can't wait to come back.
Well, we can't wait to have you back, and I think that's been shown from the ticket sales so far, which we love. So go out there, grab those last 4 tickets. I don't know, for all I care, go sell them for twice the price. Whatever, make a couple bucks on them, because by the time we get to
Donate some of that to the school, though, please.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, thanks again for taking the time to get out here and greet the folks of Elkton before you come greet the folks here in Elkton, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
you got it. Can't wait.
All right.